Let me know in the chat. Give me something in the chat. I want to know. I want to know an answer. Give me something in the chat. All right. So I want to know from you. First of all, can y'all hear me clearly? Let me know in the chat if y'all can hear me clearly. All right, cool, cool. So if if you have a business or if you're operating as a career professional right now, tell me something that is a roadblock, something that could be in your way right now that if you could just get over that, it would do wonders for you. It would change the game. It would become next level. You will be at your next level. Let me know in the chat what's one thing that's in your way, one thing that's there, maybe a roadblock, maybe something stopping you. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. This is very important. You have to participate. Think about it. If you're just on the screen, and I want to make sure this is very clear. It may be some people who may not even know me right now. I forgot about that. I'm always thinking I'm just talking to our community. So like, I forget that we've been doing these classes for everybody. So if anyone doesn't know me, my name is Sean Crewmate, also known as Mindset Mogul. But I would love for you. You could call me something simple like Two Comma Crew. Okay, put it in the chat, Two Comma Crew. And the reason why I'm saying this because I want you to aspire not to be like me, but to be like you, but to for you to see somebody who's done something that you want to do, right? Or you may be on the verge of doing. But my role is to help. I'm talking about six-figure, seven-figure coaches, career professionals, entrepreneurs who have communities, who have products, who have services. I'm helping them build out their community, retain their community. Well, basically retain their participants that's in the community and then grow it. That's really that simple. Retain clients and grow it. That's all I'm doing, helping you retain clients and grow it. The benefit is if you don't have six figures yet, it's fine. You could be a five-figure earner. If you don't have a community yet, that's fine. You could just be started. Because what I'm showing you is the principle, the format, the blueprint. This is why we say mindset. So I'm going to show you how to work not smarter, not harder, but somebody put in the chat. I'm going to show you how to work higher. So this is all about spiritual wealth, spiritual being, that your life as a person, as a sentient being, you are spiritual. So there may be certain things that you may be overlooking because you are dealing with the day to day, the in and out of what we will call lifing. So there might be some things that you are overlooking. I want to show you something because you have what you have because you are who you are. Make sense? Like you know certain things in your life, and that's why you're at the place that you are at right now. But there are things you don't know that's stopping you from keeping you where you want to be. That is why we have mentors. That is why we have coaches. That is why we have other people in our lives to give us counsel, to give us advice, to give us strategies and roadmap because your dreams are way too big for your own eyes. See, the person who created the buildings that you live in, if you just look at it from the outside perspective, how many perspectives are you missing out on? If you was to go outside of your building right now and you look at it with your own eyes and you was to look at your building, how many different perspectives are you missing out on? So there's so many ways that you can see this. I want you to be inside this quantum realm. When we call this the quantum realm, this is the place that everything is created in. When we do our guided meditations, we take you to that quantum space because everything is created in the mind first. So believe it or not, the reality that you have has been created by the thoughts, the actions, the words, the things that you profess. Whatever you tune into, you turn into. If we're making sense so far, somebody put make sense in the chat. If we're following so far, somebody put follow in the chat. There's a lot of times there are individuals who believe that this work is not important. They go, oh, I already got the mindset. If you say you already got the mindset, you already lost. I know this is not a game about this person versus you. This is about you versus you. But how many of us has been in the same place for the last 3 to 5 years? Put a one in the chat if that's you. I want you to have a fear. If that's you, I want you to have a fear of being in the same place next year at this time. It is February 1st. Be honest with me. Have you have you fallen off on some of your New Year's resolutions? Put a zero in the chat. Be honest. You don't have to lie to me because your results are going to speak for you. See, because this is about time freedom. That's what we're all looking for. We're all looking for time freedom. That's the one thing we have in common. So that's why I say it doesn't matter if you're a six-figure earner. It doesn't matter if you're a five-figure earner. It doesn't matter if you're a career professional. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur. You are looking for something that I have been able to obtain that I would love to give back to everyone. It's not even about giving back. It's giving forward. I want to give forward to everyone. Why? Because this is a blessing. I remember being at the corporate job. I remember going to work for 40 hours plus a week, only having the weekends. I remember coming home late from work and you got to cook, you got to clean, you got to do extra stuff before you even get to your business. I remember that. If I can help you become more effective in less time, somebody say, put me in the game, coach. I don't often refer to myself as coach. Other people do. Other people do. They say, hey, coach. Hey, okay, I guess I'm a coach. So I realize you wear multiple hats, whether you want to or not. Sometimes you're going to be the mentor to somebody. Sometimes you're just going to be the coach. Sometimes you're going to be the student, and sometimes you're going to be the master. In your relationship, sometimes you're going to lead, and sometimes you're going to follow. Where you mess up is when you think that there's absolutism. And a lot of us get programmed with absolutism. And this is where limited mindsets come from, right? Fixed mindsets, where somebody say, oh, no, that's just the way it is. Oh, that's just me. I'm afraid to be on camera. Like, if that's you, put a one in the chat. If you speak like that, put a one in the chat. I'm just afraid to be on the camera. That's just not me. I'm just not that person. There's a reason. There's a reason why you have what you have, because you're holding on to limitations. You're fighting for limitations so much that you get to keep them. And I'm not saying this to look down on you. I'm saying this about all of us, including myself. I'm not where I truly want to be yet, but I'm where I once wanted to be yet. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. We're starting to get into the game now? Okay, we're starting to get to it. So 5 years ago, I was wishing that I was in this place right here. 5 years ago, I was wanting and I was asking, and I was writing down on the new moons. I was doing my manifestations. I had my full glass of water, put it outside with the new moon coming. I understood. All right, let me manifest this. You see, faith without works is dead, right? Because we can't just have hope. Hope is a dream killer. Somebody put it in the chat. Hope is a dream killer. From this day forward, we don't have hope. We don't have wish. Hoping and wishing gets you what? How many times? Let's be real for you. I'm gonna be real. How many times you hoped and wished and prayed for somebody to get better and they still died? How many times you hoped and prayed and wished something was gonna happen and it still happened? How many times you prayed for that? So I'm not doing that. We're not doing that. Faith without works is dead. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. If you can't show up on a Saturday, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, whether that may be 6:30 for you with Pacific time, it does not matter. You need to show up for you. Am I making sense? Let me know if I'm making sense in the chat. I don't want to sound harsh. Sometimes, y'all, I'm gonna be real. Like sometimes I'll be a little hangry. I don't want to be hangry on the call. You understand? Like I want to be loving with you. But that when it comes to love, there's two sides of it. It's not just all hugs every day and cuddles. I'm gonna give you all of that. I'm gonna make sure you feel loved, appreciated, heard, felt, and seen. But you also gonna need the realization of fact checking. Hey, did we do what we need to do? Hey, we playing around? We sitting down too much? I want you to live your life. So the key to freedom is locking yourself down in structure. Wait a minute. Uh-oh. He's starting already. I told you. The key to freedom is locking yourself down in structure. Do you know your numbers? Do you know your numbers? This is very important. All right. So I'm going to start going now. I'm going to start sharing my screen in a minute. So let's make sure everybody's front and center. You got your pens, you got your papers, you got your pads, whatever it is that you need. Let's make sure you have it. Okay. Let's make sure you have it. Just like me, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I always prepare before I get on these calls. Somebody put preparation in the chat. You're never gonna see me get on these calls and wing it. I'm not doing that. A lot of you do what though? Be real in the chat. If you wing it, if you wing a lot of things that you do, put wing in the chat. Put wing in the chat. Because some of y'all love chicken wings, so y'all just be thinking any wing is good. Lemon pepper. And you thinking any wing is good. Nah, any wing is not good. Okay, we don't want to wing. All right. So I want you to get away from winging it. I want you to prepare. Prepare. See, if you prepare, you understand you're making room for what you want to be paired to. Uh-oh, damn, y'all got to put these crew notes down. I'm telling you, I'll start going. So you want to, when you have preparation, when you're being prepared, what you're doing is making space for the things you want to be paired with. If you are just winging it, flap, flap, put your arm together like a wing and flap. You know, it ain't much you can keep under there. Well, once you let it go, it's gone, right? How many times you come into class, you get information, like, I'm pumped up, I'm excited. You get off the class, you done forgot what happened. You done forgot about the class. 2 weeks later, you done forgot that you learned that. 4 weeks later, you get back on the call, you're like, Mogul, damn, then you taught us that, but it sounds different this time. Let me know in the chat if I'm making sense, because I know I gotta be. I know I'm talking to the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop, because you would not be here on a Saturday. Because how many of your friends and family on the couch sleeping right now? 2 weeks later, you get back on the call, you're like, Mogul, damn, then you taught us that, but it sounds different this time. Let me know in the chat if I'm making sense, because I know I gotta be. I know I'm talking to the best of the best, top of the top, cream of the crop, because you would not be here on a Saturday. Because how many of your friends and family on the couch sleeping right now? Did I say that? Did I tell them that they was on the couch? Look, I was on the couch too last night. So look, I ain't saying nothing wrong about the couch. I'm just saying, okay, there's different levels to it. So knowing your numbers, if y'all can see my screen, if y'all can see my screen, let me know. If y'all can see my screen, let me know in the chat. I think, yeah, I can see it. So y'all should be able to see it, right? Let me go through this. What I want to do is I want to break down some numbers because unfortunately, most entrepreneurs, they fail due to a lack of understanding numbers. So we got the 4 levels of value, right? The 4 levels of impact. Somebody put them in the chat. For anyone who does not know, this is what I'm gonna go over, and I'm gonna help you break this down to understand this a lot better. Okay. So the highest level of value is imagination. This is where whatever it is that you're creating, this is the person or the stage where you create the thing. So I would like to use the person. Right now, we're worried about people because I want you to recognize where you are. If you're honest about where you're at, that's where you can close the gap to where you want to be. Make sense? If you're honest about where you are right now, that's the only way you're going to be able to close the gap to get to where you want to be. If you are pretending like you got XYZ, guess what? Your mind is going to believe that you already have it. So you're not going to close the gap to fill in those blanks. The mind doesn't know the difference between what's real and what's imagined because it's all imagined. It's all, if I said to you right now, 50, I'm gonna tell you right now my percentage, I'm gonna guess it. 50% of you are gonna say you don't believe me, but let me know in the chat if you believe me. All right, rock with me, rock with me. Do you believe if I said this world is imaginary, if this is an imaginary world? Let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. I gotta see this. I gotta see the results. Do you believe me? Do you believe me? Do I have somebody on the back end letting people in? Because I can't share my screen and let people in at the same time. That's gonna be wild. So let me know. Send me a text or come off a mute and let me know. Let me double check real fast, y'all. I don't want to leave anybody outside. Right? All right, cool. Let me know in the chat. Put believe or disbelieve in the chat so I know. Do you believe that this is an imaginary world? I'm telling you, that's what I'm thinking. I'm not telling you to take on my ideology. Anytime I bring any information to you, what I'm doing is I'm saying, hey, look, y'all, I got this information I discovered, or I got this thing I downloaded. Let me know if it resonates with you. And some of you might not be able to resonate with it. So I don't want you just to take my ideology. I want you to go and do your own research and do your own work to see if it fits into your life. But I'm sharing with you principles, universal tools. That way it can work for you and for me. Right? So this is a universal tool. If you eat, you must do what? Let's be honest. Like, come on. If you don't do this, if you don't do the do, then you ain't eating, right? Like, understand. It's just natural. It's a principle. It is what it is. If you never see that person, if you with somebody, some significant other, they never go to the bathroom, they alien or something. Okay. Trump done brought them here. Okay. All right. So let's get to it. Y'all can see my screen, right? See the screen? Everybody see the screen? All right, cool. So imagination is the highest level of value. That's the person that creates the thing, that creates the idea. The person who created Uber, the person who created Amazon, that's the person who created the idea. They are the ones who get paid the most, has the most impact, but they have 80% of the time that they get to enjoy for themselves. This is always a big factor. That's why I always write this down. Let me not use absolutism. This is why I usually write this down, because they get 80% of their time. They get 80% of their time. Make sense? They get 80% of their time, y'all. How many of you only get 20% of your time? You get 20%, you get the weekends. You get 20% of your time just to enjoy your life on the weekends. I want you to be able to enjoy your life all year round, 24/7. But there is a little work required. So 80%, they get 80% of their time to enjoy themselves, and they only have 20% working time. How many of us would like to flip the script? Flip the script in the chat if that's you. If you work 80% of your time and you only get the weekends off, but you would rather just work 20% of the time and have 80% of the time to enjoy yourself, flip the script in the chat, because there's a fundamental rule, the 80-20 rule. The 80-20 rule is 80% of the work comes for 20% of the effort. Right? So if you have 10 people as employees in your business, 20% of those individuals, which would basically be 2, will produce 80% of the results. If you've ever been inside of a group doing group work, group projects, you know exactly what I'm talking about. The group gets the A, but how many people actually put as much effort as the main person who was putting a lot of effort in that group? Let's be honest here. We all been part of it. And if you haven't, that's good because you didn't get traumatized from working with people. But don't worry, we're gonna undo the traumatizations, okay? We're gonna undo it. That's why we got the mindset reset. So as I'm going fast, I want y'all to pick up what I'm putting down. Please don't be distracted. Please don't be on your phone. Please don't do anything else because why are we doing this? All right. So focus here and lock in. All right. As I go, I want everybody to put lock in the chat just for making sure we're all locked in. Put locked in the chat. And then now from here on, we're gonna be speeding through. Okay. From here on, we're speeding through. All right, good. So the person who's the communicator is a little bit, gets paid a little bit less money than the person who's the imaginator, the person who's the creator, and has a little bit less impact, but they still have amazing impact. They still get amazing amount of money, and they also get a lot of opportunities. And they have 80% of their time to enjoy themselves and only 20% working. Think about these actresses, actors, top actors, even athletes. Athletes are also communicators. They communicate an idea. That's what they do. They get paid to communicate idea. Yeah, do they implement? Yeah, do they unify? Yeah, that's why they get paid millions because they do all of it. They do all of it. The only thing that they don't do is they don't use their imagination to create the sport, right? Or create the movie. Sometimes they do. In those cases, they get paid more, and whatever the case may be. But most people are in this bottom era. Okay, if this is where you're at, please don't be offended, be happy because you now can identify what is holding you back. So the unification level, this is where you are the manager. Some of you probably got promoted in your jobs, just like me. When I first went and did graphics for Netflix and Roku, I got promoted in my first 6 months, and then I got promoted 3 months after that, and then I got promoted again. And then they said, you know what, we need to make a rule. You only can get promoted one time. You can get a raise 2 times. Well, you get a raise 1 time, you only get promoted 1 time now. That's what they said. So every time you got promoted, you got a raise. So they did that. So the unifier is the person that can manage everything, and then you have the implementer. Most of us do this. Most of us are just at the implementation stage where we get the assignment and we just accomplish the assignment. If you're at the implementation stage, I want you to put your stage in the chat. Whatever you're at, if you're at the imagination stage, you're already making 6 figures in your business, you're already making 5 figures in your business, whatever it is, go ahead and put it in the chat. I want to know, where are you at? Do you have a career? Because we want to make sure it's not just about entrepreneurs, it's also about career professionals as well. So if you're a career professional, you can make a good living and you can probably love your job. But let me know in the chat, which stage are you at? Implementation, unification, communication, imagination. So with the implementation, you do the most work, but you get paid the least. So a lot of times at the implementation stage, you feel overworked and underpaid. Make sense? That's not a life that we want you to have, but all of these levels are important. You need to go through the implementation so you know the work ethic, you know the hustle that it takes. When we say we're balling, that's not about having a lot of money. That's balling is about hustle, about your intention, your action, how bad you want it, your competitive drive. Somebody put hustle in the chat. You have to hustle. And I don't mean have 5 or 6 jobs. That's not what I mean. I'm saying if you got to get up at 9:30, make sure, and you got to prepare, you got to get the kids ready, then you got to do it. You got to get up enough to put all that energy and effort. If that means you have to go to sleep and miss out on your favorite TV show, then so be it. That's why nowadays we have record buttons where you can record your favorite TV show and you can watch it on demand. Makes sense? So we don't need to have any excuses going forward. Everything that we want to do is right in front of us, and we have all the tools to be successful. You have all the tools. So the implementation stage, once again, you get paid the least amount of money, you have the least amount of impact. And the issue with it is, once again, is that you spend 80% of your time working and you only spend 20% of your time to yourself. But the issue is an underlying issue. Remember, we said that we have things that we can't see. So the things that we can't see that's plaguing us is that when you say you have 20%, and I know some of you probably already noticed, but knowing means nothing. If you have 20%, but you have a significant other, you now only get 10% of your time. But if you have children, you only get 5% of your time. And some of y'all feel like you probably got less than that. So if you only got 5% of your time, how do you truly plan to make 6 figures? How do you truly plan to step into your 7-figure earning potential? How do you truly plan to work on your communication skills, your public speaking, your ability to listen, your time management? So this is what's causing you to be behind, is the fact that you're running out of time. Let me know in the chat. Are we getting down to the root issue now? Is it your time? Do you feel like you don't have a lot of time to execute on these things? You've taken classes, you got mentorship, you bought the courses, but none of it seems to work because you don't have enough time to implement it. When you go back and you look at your course history of how much you read, you probably didn't even go through the whole course. When you go back and look at all the books you got, how many books have you actually completed? In fact, I want to be honest with you. Some of you are taking 3 years to complete things that would only take you 3 days. Let's be real here. To get an LLC, how many of you wanted an LLC for so long? I'm gonna get my LLC, I'm gonna start my business. Do you know that you can start a business within 7 days? Do you know that you can get an LLC within 2? Do you know that? You can get funded within 7 days. Your LLC can be brand new and you still can get funded. Do you know that? Are you aware of this? Do you know that your inquiries can be falling off within 30 days, sometimes 15 days? Do you know that? So time is of the essence. Somebody put time in the chat. So everybody's main focus, everybody's primary focus is to become more effective in less time. That's the goal here. The goal here is to become more effective in less time. What is time? Time is numbers. Okay, so what is numbers? Math. So this world is mathematical. 1 + 1 = 2. You plus me equals what? Like you got to understand these mathematical equations. When you start to put it down this way, you start to realize, wait a minute, subtraction could be addition, but if it's the right thing, I'm subtracting. So, and I know this might seem like it's going over your head, or it might seem like you already know it. Whatever level that you're at, it doesn't matter. This is revisiting the notes, right? So even when you look down to the signs and symbols, because signs and symbols rule this world. When you look at math, right, and you look at addition, sometimes it's just one thing that can move you along a lot further. See, when you look at the plus sign, all you do is just turn the dial just a little bit on your efforts, and it becomes what? The plus sign becomes what? Multiplication, right? So you really have to look at it. It's more simple than what you think. If you just turn it up a notch, if you just turn the level of intensity up a notch, if you just turn the level of capacity up a notch, if you just be more diligent and stay focused just a little bit more, you can get a lot more in return. They say you reap what you sow, but you sow more than what you reap, right? And if you reap more than what you sow, that's a beautiful thing. So there's mathematical equations that could be put in place in order for you to get these outputs. And I want us to be aware of this. So when we're talking about implementation, unification, communication, imagination, I want us to focus on implementation right now. So if you are an entrepreneur or a career professional, it doesn't matter. I'm gonna put E for entrepreneur, and I'm gonna put CP for career professional, just for the sake of time. And this tablet that I'm writing on is not the best when it comes to writing. Okay, maybe it's me. It's not the tablet. It ain't the best. All right, I'm not the best with it. I got to get better. Okay, so when you think about it, I want y'all to understand. There's something called do's and don'ts. Do's and don'ts. It doesn't matter if you're an entrepreneur or career professional. There's something called do's and don'ts. Somebody write that down. Do's and don'ts. So whether you're entrepreneur or career professional, there's something called do's. I got to make a better ampersand. I'll just put and docs. Do's and docs. So it's about doing it and documenting it. Make sense? Do's and docs. Write this down. This is very important. See, 95% of entrepreneurs who have an online business, or sometimes be the brick and mortar business too, they don't necessarily have do's and docs. They don't have a system where they're doing and they're documenting. So whether you're an entrepreneur, career professional, does not matter. You should have a documentation of what you are doing. So let's break this down. Some of you may know the terms of this. All right. Some of you may know the terms of this. Somebody put in the chat, in entrepreneur language, what is it called? The do's and don'ts. What is it called? When you do something and you document this down, what is it? So for the entrepreneur, it's called SOPs, right? For the career professional, it's called EODs. Make sense? Maybe following so far? So this SOP report, these are reports. And this EOD report This is helping you understand something so fundamental. See, if you're an entrepreneur, the SOP is helping you understand what needs to be done in order for you to duplicate, in order for you to go to what? The next level. What's the next level after implementation? Unification. Unification is another word for duplication. Unification, managing, it's another word for duplication. So at the implementation level, we have to do execution. At the unification level, it's more about duplicating the execution. Uh-oh, we're starting to make sense here. The implementation stage is about execution. It's the task, the things that need to be executed, the fulfillment. The unification, this is about the duplication. How many more people can you add to the pot to help produce this energy that creates this frequency and vibration that produces it at another level? If I have more brain power, more brain, that's why they say two heads are better than one, because you have more thinking power, more thinking frequency. Your range becomes greater. Your range becomes greater. When you are a career professional and you have EODs, which is end of day reports, right? You have these EODs. What you're doing is having a track record of what's being done. See, what's being done can be used as a roadmap to get ahead. What do we say our primary objective is? Let us know in the chat. What's the primary objective? Let me know in the chat. Hopefully, this is making sense to you all, because this is high level game that goes unnoticed because it's so simple. I want to help you simplify your success. I don't want to give you more things to worry about and brand new information to stress your mind out. I just want you to realize that you already have the tools. You need to now cultivate it. Right? So work higher, which is another term for become more effective in less time. Exactly. So that's our primary focus. The primary focus, the primary objective is to become more effective in less time. Don't forget this, write this down. The primary pathway is through strategic partnerships. If you think that you're going to do it alone, I want you to think again. In fact, if you think that you're doing it alone, you're not even thinking. Uh-oh, did I say that? Uh-oh, sorry. Sorry. So I want us to be able to understand numbers, because this is where it starts to go. Some people say, I don't like math. Don't be that person, please. Don't be the person that doesn't like math, because math will be the thing that gets you to your next level. Don't be that person. So when we say get ahead, like using the EODs to get ahead, using the SOPs, it does not matter. I don't care what type of job you have. If you start creating EODs, it will transform your mind, because now you're going from worker to imaginator, creator. You're going from implementer to imaginator. You're just moving up the levels of life. Like there's no difference between a $1 billion CEO and a $1 million CEO, except for the amount of efforts that the person is putting out, whether that's being able to hire more, having better systems, having more delegation, more communication. It does not matter, because they still have the same 24-hour period. So what are you doing with your 24 hours? You need to get ahead. So instead of waiting around getting things done, waiting around to get things done, you're going to get things done ahead of time. Like when you're entrepreneur, when you're at your corporate job and your employer is saying to you, "Hey, I need XYZ done by XYZ date." You can get those things done faster because you know, but how many of us actually sit down and wait a while until we realize, I'm running out of time now, let me get started on the thing. Uh-oh, I'm calling somebody out. Don't hate me. Mindset Mogul, you was calling me out on a call. I don't appreciate it. Well, okay, that's you. See, the idea is to become more effective in less time. You don't want to waste time. Somebody put in the chat, I'm not wasting time. I want you to put a 1 in the chat also if you feel like you've been working at your job, you feel like you've been running your business, but you feel like you've been wasting a lot of time. Let me know. You feel like you've been wasting a lot of time. You don't have these SOPs or these EODs. And another word for this is KPI. Somebody tell me what KPI stand for in the chat. See, from SOPs and EODs, you now can create these KPIs. So if you are at the corporate world, this is easy for you. I'm showing you how I was able to scale up my business in the corporate world. Whether you believe it or not, you are a business. You are the business. This is about business acquisition. Companies are in the business of hiring other companies. See, we only like people who take care of their business. If you're messy with your business, we fire you. We fire you. We want you to be polished in your business. We want you. That's why we train you. We pay you to train you. How many of us want to get paid to learn? That's what I do. I get paid to learn. I get paid to be a leader. I get paid to create KPIs and systems. I get paid to run things on the back end to make sure we are building smoothly and we're creating community and cultivating a environment of love and support that can foster growth. Let me know in the chat if that sounds right. So these KPIs, these are key performance indicators, but we also have something called MMPs. They're basically one and the same. But if you look at it from this side, right, this could be for the corporate world, and this could be for the entrepreneur world. It's just different ways to say the same things. MMPs are just metrics to measure performance. KPIs are just key performance indicators. They're still the same things. Why? Because they are what? Numbers. Uh-oh, I think we're making sense now, right? I think things are starting to hit. How many of us are tracking our numbers? Put a 0 in the chat if you track your numbers. Put a 1 in the chat if you do. I want to make sure. I'm going to come to the chat and I want to find out right now. I want to find out right now. Put a 0 in the chat if you track your numbers. Put a 1 in the chat if you do. Do not lie about it. It makes no sense. It's not going to help you. You lie about it on the call and then I'm going to go do it later. That's not going to help you. It's going to fool you. Okay? Be transparent about where you're at so you get to where you want to be. So if you know you count your numbers, put a 1 in the chat. If you know you haven't been counting your numbers, but you will start, put a 0 in the chat. This is about your numbers, knowing your numbers. How much we got on time? We got about 20 minutes left. Okay, there we go. I like the honesty in the chat. So once again, as I mentioned before, unfortunately, 95% of new business owners fail just because of the sense. And I know 95 could be like this random number, but it is really 95. This was a small percentage of people who go on to create successful businesses. And I'm talking about the first year because they're so eager to get into business. They're so eager to do the things that would make money. They're so consumed about collecting the numbers that they forget to count the numbers. Wait a minute, what does that sound like? You're so eager to collect the numbers that you forget to count the numbers. That sounds like entrepreneurs or athletes who so eager, they just get the money and they just hire a person. Hey, you're gonna come in my business and you're gonna be my accountant. And then 5 years, 10 years later down the road, when they retire, what happens? What happens? Let me know in the chat. So KPIs are used for what? These numbers are used to do what? We already said it, track performance. Right. So what else is it good for? KPIs are good for KPIs in, let me put my screen down. KPIs and MMPs are good for what? Setting goals. What else? Measuring progress. Measuring progress. What else? Identifying areas for improvement. Identifying areas for improvement. Also what? To make better decisions, right? We want to see what's working, what's not working. This is why we say assess, assign, align. In our lives, we want to do an audit on our business, an audit on our attention. Let's assess what's working and let's assess what's not working. Let's throw away what's not working. Let's keep what's working and let's now make an assignment. We give ourselves an assignment and then we stay in alignment with our assignment. These are the KPIs. You must stay in alignment with your assignment. This is how you know how to gauge, okay, money didn't come in. Why? Why not? Why didn't money show up? Okay, because I didn't hit these metrics. Oh, money showed up. Oh, because I hit these metrics. So these are very important. So um, making better decisions. All right, making better decisions. So when you think about setting goals, you want to set targets for your teams to work towards, or you want to set targets for you to work towards. When you think about measuring progress, this is like gauging how well your strategies are working. So it's like, okay, did I make progress in the last 6 months, or am I still at the same space that I was at before? Am I still at the same space that I was at before, or am I making progress? When you think about identifying areas of improvement, this is about understanding which changes need to be made. So if you've been inside of our Mailbox Millionaire Academy, you see if from the moment where you started to the moment where you're at now, how many changes we've implemented, how many things that we had to change up and switch up to make sure that you're getting the best service and best quality of education. Also, when it comes to making decisions, the KPIs provide what? It's going to give us this insight to help us understand how to make better decisions across the entire organization. Maybe that's hiring, maybe that's firing, maybe that's seeing when someone's overwhelmed, maybe that's seeing when someone's underwhelmed, right? So we want to make sure the numbers, because numbers do not what? Put it in the chat. Numbers do not what? Numbers do not lie. So for example, if you're, how many of us in real estate? Put a one in the chat if you came here for real estate. If you came here to get commercial properties, you came here for self-storage, maybe you just wanted to acquire a business. I'm just gonna let you know, in order for you to get that one deal, you need to at least call up 200 people. You need to make at least 200 cold calls. I should write this down for you, but this is not part of the presentation, but just an example. So you need to make 200 cold calls just to get 20 qualified leads, just to get what? 2 potential sellers, 2 potential sellers, potential motivated sellers, all just so we can get one deal. So when we understand these KPIs, we can see, okay, wait a minute, did I even call 200 people? I remember when I first started doing cold calls and I was on the phone with my brother like, yo, bro, damn, everybody's saying no, but they talking to me forever. He's like, yo, bro, did you make 200 calls yet? Like, nah, don't worry about it. Just keep going through the nose. Somebody say go through the nose. No's stand for next opportunity. So you need to at least make 200 cold calls just so you can get to 20 qualified leads. Just because these 20 people are qualified leads, some of them might get on the phone and say what to you? Yeah, make me an offer. Those are the people that's not motivated. They just want to, if your price is right, and they might try to, beat you in the head. But the point is to get 20 qualified leads. And then you want to get from those 20 qualified leads 2 potential sellers, people who have the motivation. You want to extract the motivation from the individual to understand exactly why would they sell in the first place. And then out of those 2 people, I'm quite sure one of those people are going to like you enough to give a deal to you. And yes, you heard me right. They have to like you enough to give a deal to you. Deals are found, but they're actually given. See, you got to be the person that is the person that earns the right to have the experience of person giving you a deal. See, because people are going to sell to people they like. You're going to buy from people you like. Sometimes you might buy things that I don't really like this person, but I need this. Right. So in this particular case where you're dealing with people and they sell to you based upon if they like you, if they think you're one of these sharks, they're going to say, no, no, I'm not selling my business to a shark. I work too hard. See, my kids don't want to take over my business, but I work too hard. I want to put this in somebody's hands who's going to do something good with it when I'm gone. So you have to understand and extract the person's motivation, but that's a side thing. That's sales. That's something that I'll teach y'all at a different class. And if you already have if you have the Speak with Confidence and Courage book, you automatically get access to the 30 days of that class. You automatically get access to the 30 days of that class, Speaking with Confidence and Courage. Okay, that makes sense to anybody. So what types of KPIs are there? Let me know in the chat. What type of KPIs are there? Let me know in the chat. What type of KPIs are there? So there's multiple KPIs. Let me know in the chat. I want your brains to work. Even if you don't know, think about it. Let's come up with it. Let's figure it out. Because the KPI could be literally anything that is a key performance indicator. How many of X gets me this result? How many of X gets me this result? So please don't feel like you don't know. You do know. And you all work with KPIs on a daily basis. Even when it comes to parenting, at what time do you need to be completely ready to get your children out the door, to be on time? That's a KPI. Whether you believe it or not, it just is what it is. Because you know in your mind, damn, I can't let this get 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock come, it's over. Miss the bus, and I don't miss this opportunity. Now I got to call out of work, XYZ, all these other things happen. So you live with KPIs every day. Let me make sure I get home from work. Oh, let me beat traffic. I know traffic starts heavy at 2:30. Let me get, on the road by 1. So we all know these. So KPI should be a big part of your life regardless. So let's put down the KPIs. And everybody knows the first one. What's the first one? What's the top KPI? Financial. So we have financial KPIs. This is customer service, but I want us to think customer service as relationships. Okay. Customer service as relationships. What else? Process KPIs. Oh, process KPIs. So you got the process KPIs. What else do you have? Sales. Somebody said sales. What else? What helps out with sales? Marketing KPIs. And then you also have, if you have financial, you also have non-financial. How to change that real quick. If you have financial, you also have non-financial. As I just mentioned, being able to get the kids out on time, right? Employee retention rates, numbers of the patents that you filed, how many LLCs you got. Like all of these things are KPIs, but you want to make sure you understand which category this goes into. All right. When you talk about sales KPIs, the numbers of sales, the average sales per cycle, the lead conversion. When you talk about marketing, you understand the metrics related to marketing, lifetime value of a customer, click-through rates. Right. These are all very important. Somebody put important in the chat if we're making sense. Okay, so, and you might say, how do we develop these KPIs? Well, we develop these KPIs. It's simple. How do we develop KPIs? Somebody put it in the chat. Let me know. How do we develop KPIs? What did we talk about earlier? Looking sharp, my brother. Do what you do. All right, that's my grandfather. Man. He looking sharp today. All right, go ahead, pops. Go ahead. Step out on him. You got the KPIs. All right, cool. So the idea is practice. So KPIs are developed through practice, through trial and error, through testing, through wins and losses. So somebody put practice in the chat. Talking about practice, not a game. Yes, preparation. You have to be prepared, right? You have to prepare yourself. Get ready for what's about to be paired to your life. Get ready. When Auntie Shaky is coming up, you say a financial matchmaker, right? You preparing yourself for your financial love, your financial life. You have to be able to prepare yourself, make room for it. So the idea with KPIs, you have to practice. You have to go through this stuff. It's not going to just appear. You can get these metrics, you can understand it right away, but for your particular business and everybody individually, you must go through this. This is you can't skip it. You can't. You cannot skip it. You can hire the experts, but you still cannot skip it. So how to develop KPIs? We already know the practice, but we want to start to do what? Define strategic objectives. Define objectives. What are you out to accomplish? This is why I always ask someone, I say, who are you? And what are you out to accomplish? And a lot of times they don't know. If you don't know, you're gonna have a tough time. If you don't know, you're gonna have a tough time. So number one, the way to develop is to practice developing and defining strategic objectives. If I add A to B, would I get X? Like this is where you want to go with it. So you want to also be able to see the end in mind, right? You know, y'all, I know that. See the end in mind. Um, so basically, you want to describe. You want to describe the results, your intended results. So what do you want your results to be? Okay, you have these objectives, but what do you want the results to be? Like I said, I'm gonna call 200 people, but I want to get one deal. I'm not looking for 200 deals. I'm looking for one deal. But I know that if I just call up one person, the chances of me getting a deal is like 0.007. That's just an arbitrary number. I'm making that up. I'm just saying that's how low it is. But when you look at it, if you was to get 200 people on the phone with you, you increase the likelihood of you getting that one deal. So you want to create what we will call selectable measures for each objective, right? So once again, you want to be able to have something that's easy. Think about the SMART rule, right? Setting SMART goals. So you want to select measures. Select your method of measures for each objective. How are you going to measure each objective? So if I do call, how am I just calling random people, or am I calling up business owners who have already been in business for 10 plus years? You see the distinction in the two? Am I just calling any random business? Because any random business probably not going to sell to you. But a person that has been in business for over 10 years they might sell to you. They might sell to you. All right. They've been in the business over 10 years, and they might want to be with the kids now. So you want to also be able to select and set targets. It's why they say have your target demographic, have your target customer. Right? You want to set targets and thresholds. So you don't want to shoot over 500 and drain out your battery, your social battery, but you want to do something that you could actually get to. So I want to make sure I call between 200 and 300 people. And this could be a day, this could be a week, but I would say, I don't want to overdo the threshold, right? The last one is you want to define and document the things that you selected as your measures. So you want to document all of this. And that's how you start coming up with the KPIs. You define, okay, what it is that I want to create. What's the result that I want out of this? So, okay, I know the result now. How can I track this and measure this? Now, I also need to set my targets and my parameters around this. So there's something that I'm gonna help you use, and it's the 4 KPIs. Are y'all familiar with the 4 Ps of the KPIs? It's the 4 Ps of the KPIs. Let me know in the chat if you're familiar with that. 4 Ps of the KPIs. What's the first P? So this is when it comes to products. So some of y'all have products. Who has products? Put a 1 in the chat if you have a product or offer, like some sort of service. You have a product to offer, some sort of service. So products and offerings, this is what this is going to be useful for. So it's not necessarily useful in a sense of the cold calling aspect, but if you are a business owner that has a product or service of some type of offering, this would be beneficial. Let me get a temperature check real quick. Let me get a temperature check. Come off of mute really fast. If this is beneficial for you, come off of mute really fast and let us know.
Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yes.
Yes, it
Good
is.
stuff.
Yes.
That's very good
Yes,
stuff.
yes, yes, yes.
Very good.
Bring it, coach.
Yeah.
All
Okay,
right,
okay,
put us in the
good,
game,
good.
coach.
Bring it,
Put us in
coach.
the game.
Let's go. Let's go.
All right, good stuff, everyone. Somebody was back there. I heard somebody was like, "Yeah, it's good, but don't stop. Keep going." It's like, all right, it's good, it's good. Come on, keep going. No, I got you. I understand. Look, let's keep it going. So the 4 P's of the KPIs. The first one is what? If we're talking about products and offering, what is the first KPI? Let me know in the chat. What's the first KPI? So this one is going to be a product KPI. It's going to be about products. So the product KPI is the measure of what? How well your product meets the customer needs, how well your product meets the customer expectation. When you think about it, think about metrics of like quality, product quality. Some of you like the name brand clothing or bags or items because of what? Quality, right? You get a higher sense of customer satisfaction. See now, but I also want you to factor into this. Most people don't factor into your return rates. See, if the product being returned a lot, if the product is being returned a lot, you now know, it's not, I got to change up the product a little bit. So these are KPIs you want to start to measure. Product quality. Am I spending enough on the quality of the product to get the customer satisfaction? So that way we eliminate the rate of returns. I'm not talking about ROIs yet. I'm talking about the rate of return, somebody returning your product to you. And how many of us know when we go on Amazon, we look at the product reviews, and if we see that it has 2 stars, 1 star, we start to return back the product. Even if we didn't buy it yet, we return it back in our minds, right? Because we got the idea, oh yeah, this might be a good idea. Actually, I see the reviews. Nah, this ain't gonna be a good idea. Take that back. We give it right back to them. So these indicators are gonna help you refine your product offering and boost your customer loyalty, because it's really about customer satisfaction. It's not about getting the most bang of the buck. If you can get the most bang for the customer satisfaction, that's gonna give you the most money. All right. So the next one is price. So when you think about product pricing, it's about your strategy. Some of us may not know how to price our products. Put a 1 in the chat or put a 0 in the chat if that's you. I'm not sure how to price my product. I know I have something valuable. I know I got some sort of service, but I'm not sure how to price it. I want you to think about this. You have to start creating KPIs that's centered around the effectiveness of what people are willing to purchase from you. So what does that mean? I'm talking about profit margins. So you don't want to make sure, you don't want to spend so much money to get a little bit of profit. That's just not a profitable business. Long term, you're gonna fail. Yeah, you might be satisfying a customer. Yeah, you might be giving them, but you're not making any margin, and you don't have enough margin for error. So if something goes wrong in a business, basically it eats up your profit. How many of y'all know that? You went and you got a property, you got a real estate property. You said, you know what? I'm gonna fund this property. You got money out your own pocket, and then before you know it, you gotta renovate. You gotta deal with leaky toilets. You gotta start putting money out your pocket for expenses you didn't realize was there. That's because your profit margin is small. So we want to not only have competitive pricing, but we want to have pricing that meets the quality of the work that needs to be done. So don't be afraid to charge your price, but don't overprice your stuff either, because then you overprice yourself out of deals. So the key to understanding how to price is to knowing where to place. See, if it is this like this running thing, I don't know how many of y'all, let me know if y'all know this. It's a question. It says, if you own like a food truck, which place would you like to place your food truck in? Which location? Y'all let me know in the chat. Y'all let me know in the chat. If you own a food truck, which location would be the best location for you to place your food truck? Whether that's, college campus, whether that's downtown in the square, y'all let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. If you had a food truck, busy location, okay, high traffic areas, all of that's cool. How many times you've been in high traffic areas, but you didn't go shopping in those places, but you've been in high traffic areas? You've been downtown, but you walk right past that building. Somebody said the hoods and the plazas. You can put your stuff in the hood for sure. Yeah, food truck. Yeah. Large. I want y'all to get outside of the large traffic, because large traffic doesn't mean anything. How many of you know people online, or how many of you know people? You might be this person that people come to you and it's high. They like what you do. They like what you got. But the minute you start putting price on something, crickets. The minute you like, people love what you got going on. They love it. They want to be part of it so bad. But as soon as you put the price on it, they went missing. We should make videos about that. I got to do that. If y'all want, also y'all want to get into like coaching with videos and making content, let me know, because I've been in this content course creation class. It's been amazing. So there's a bunch of new stuff that I've been learning, but I got some things that I've already learned. But the idea here is to, somebody put it in the chat already. They said, they want to be around hungry people. That's where I want my location. But I want people hungry for what I'm looking for, what I'm serving. In some cases, you might get somebody hungry, but they don't trust that. Like, I'm plant-based, right? So I'll be, I'll go out with people. Yeah, they may be starving, but they're not starving enough to eat fruits and vegetables. they ain't starving enough for that. Look, I don't care about the fruits and vegetables, King. You're gonna have to give me some steak or some extra. Like, look, man. I'm here for holistic health. I'm here for health and wealth. Okay, I'm not here for steaks. So don't hit me up in the DM looking for steaks. Even though sometimes we go to these fancy restaurants and y'all be picking what y'all want. I done paid for a couple of y'all to have these steaks. I told my family, like, look, I don't know about that, man. I'm taking y'all to plant-based restaurants going forward. So you want to put your product or your offering in a place where people truly want it. Okay, where people truly want it already, and there's ways we show you that inside the community. We show you all of these things, but I want you to be aware of the strategy. It's not just the traffic, it's about the people who want what you have, and you want to be able to make it available. So I want you to think distribution channels. And we got 1 more minute, so can I have 5 more minutes of your time just to close up with these, and then we're gonna circle back and we're gonna be done. Just put 5 more minutes in the chat if I can. I do want to stick to the time obligation. It's 10:30 now on the Eastern Standard Time. So thank you. I appreciate you. So when you're looking at the prices and you're looking at the places, your distribution channels, your distribution market. Some of you may notice because you probably tried out drop shipping and it didn't work for you. Some of you, it probably did work for some of you. It's the same thing when it comes to stocks. I want y'all to think about this. This is all about acquisition. What can you acquire that can allow you to get to another level? This is accumulation. That's what we do as humans. We accumulate, but you have to accumulate the right things. You might accumulate something. You might walk into somebody's house. How many of you got the family members who accumulate anything and everything? At that point, it's just called what? Put it in the chat. Start with a J that ends with a K. If you just accumulating anything and everything, you just accumulate a bunch of junk. That's not what we're doing. We're looking to accumulate things that move the needle forward. So your distribution channel is paramount. Some of you are not on TikTok. You need to be on TikTok. But some of your distribution is long form content. So you should be on YouTube. Some of you are better with marketing in person. You have better classes and better teaching styles in person. You need to be in person, hosting free classes in person or doing things of that nature, giving out free samples. Some of your products, you have to have somebody try it out, sample. All right, so you must put your product or your offering in places where customers need it, not just want it, they need it. So you have to think about the needs. And the last part, right? The last P is what? Last P is promotion. Promotion. You have to be a pro at putting the things in motion. If people do not know about you or people forget about you, that's the two fastest ways for you to fail in your business. See, you might not think public speaking is important. When I talk about mindset, you go, well, I already got the mindset. And then I give you the mic and have you stand up in front of 50 people and articulate what your product is. You can't even do it. So all of this is very important. Mindset is important. You need to cultivate your mindset on a daily basis. Promotion, be a pro at putting your ideas in motion. See, you want to track what? You track your success by monitoring your campaigns. Whether it's your marketing campaigns, whether it's your metrics like engagement rates, conversion rates, click rates, CLVs. I want you to understand that these are tools that you really need. And even ROIs. ROIs is part of your promotion KPIs. You need to know your return on your investment. If I spend X amount of dollars in ad spend, what am I getting back? My ROAS, right? What am I actually calculating for my spend, my cost of spend? So these are very important. Very important. Very important. Your rate of return on your ad spend, that's the key to it. Like you can have the best product, but if nobody knows about your product, it's not gonna matter. If you have the best product, but if you underprice your product, the people are not gonna buy it. They're gonna perceive it as cheap. If you overprice your product, it might be too hot for the market that you have. No one's gonna buy it. Make sense? If you don't promote your product, no one knows about it. So these click-through rates, these conversion rates, all of these, you must get familiar with these terms. Must get familiar with these terms because each KPI has specific information that's tailored to what it is that you're looking to accomplish. So your choice of KPIs will influence your overall marketing strategy. It will influence your overall ability of conversion and also being able to help to cultivate the environment of your product being something that's needed. Make sense? So just by having these goals, like if your objective is to increase your brand awareness, you might set a goal to boost your website traffic by, let's say, 20% over the next 6 months. That's cool, that's great, but you need to have distinct goals that help you choose the right KPIs. If lead generation is your focus, you want to track the metrics that allows you to see new leads per month, new lead conversion. If your goal is to direct your strategic efforts to make sure that you can get person to purchase, you need to make sure that you're putting out something that's valuable and speaking to the pain and showing the promise of your solution. Somebody write that down. You want to speak to the pain and show the promise of your solution. Sometimes you look at ads, right? And automatically it hits you like, yo, I need that. I need that product because they showed you the pain and they showed you the promise of the solution. And last but not least, this is very important. You must target. See, your target, the people that you go after, market segmentation. So target and market segmentation. The people that you go after, your market segmentation. Some of us have products that will fit one demographic better than the other. But if we don't segment and we don't realize that we can make one offer to this demographic, make another total different style of offer to this demographic, but it could be the same product. It could be the same exact product. In fact, a lot of you have the same exact products already. Think about it. How many of you got different shoes by different makers and different models? That's the same product, but they targeted different, so they hit you differently. So you bought the same thing. You bought the same thing. You got jeans, you got pants, you got shirts. It's all the same stuff, but it was targeted differently and marketed, segmented for you to purchase it at that moment. And you don't even know that because this is subconsciously targeting. This is subconscious. This is where you buy something, you don't even know why you bought it. How many of y'all got into those mentorships? Like, damn, I know. Did they trick me into the mentorship? Well, in here, we don't trick you into the mentorship. We show you exactly what you get. We show you exactly who you could be around, and we show you what's possible. I didn't go through numbers and break down numbers because sometimes it ain't about the numbers. Y'all already got all the numbers. Y'all know, and you could tell by just how many people in here. Do the math of all of this. You'll see all of this, right? And you come into our community, you see we got over 100 students in the community, plus 1,000 plus who've been through the community. The numbers are there. We show you how to get to the bag, but it's all about you understanding how to keep the bag. You can make a lot of money, but can you keep it? So the KPI is going to help you keep it. The KPI is going to help you grow and expand so that way you can get the lifestyle you love and the lifestyle you deserve, which is time and freedom. That's what everybody's looking for. Everybody's looking for time and freedom. Let me unshare this screen. Hopefully that was amazing. Hopefully, I know it was a lot. Obviously, we know it was a lot. But if you got good value out of that, I want you to come off of mute. Let's send a request for everybody to come off of mute. I want you to make some noise, snap it up and clap it up for yourself. Here we go. Here we
Yes,
go.
sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you.
you, Queen.
Thank you.
Thank
Let me know why you got it.
you. Thank you.
Thank
Thank
I
you.
said
Let's connect.
mobile, valuable.
Yes.
Love it, love it.
They're the best.
Good
They're the
stuff.
best of the best.
Yes.
Absolutely. So here's the last thing, everyone. If you I mean, my bad. I just sent y'all a request to unmute. Don't mute. Don't unmute. Don't unmute. If you want more of these trainings, you want to be in the program, you want to go through our courses, you want to go through lead generation and be able to actually be that entrepreneur or at least that career professional that want to take their lives to the next level. If you are inside of our Mogul Elite group, put a 1 in the chat. If you're inside the Mogul Elite, put a 1 in the chat. If you would like to be inside the Mogul Elite, put a 5 in the chat. If you want access, look, it's only $47 on this call. We did $47 a month. If you want to pay up front and get a whole year's worth, I would love for y'all to do that as well. So that way you lock in your spot. You're not worrying about paying something every month. That would be beneficial. But if you want me to drop the link in the chat, let me know. Drop the link in the chat. I'll drop it. Let me change that. I've been working on my language. I don't want to say drop in the chat. I want to just say exactly what it is. Place it in the chat, okay? I'll put the link in the chat. If you all want the link and then you're not inside our Mogul Elite, this is our starter community. This is not the big granddaddy of them all. This is not our highest tier. This is not our high tier mentorship, but you do get a lot of value and we do have free classes. Okay, so once you get in, you pay your $47. You do have access to these classes. We have product development classes where you can develop a product and do that. We have coaches that will be able to help you out and pretty much put you on the right path if that's what you want. Obviously, I want you to invest at the highest tier, but if that's not where you're at right now, at least let's help you get there. But y'all let me know in the chat. Y'all let me know. Shout out to my guy, Sean Jones. What's going on? I see you. So it's good to see you on the call, King. It's good to see you on the call. Do we have the link in the chat? Put the link in the chat. Put the link in the chat, please. Take advantage of it. Like as I mentioned before, we want you at the highest tier, but at least get in. Also, this is another bonus. It's another bonus. When you do get into this community at $47, you get access to our 5-day challenges for free. So you not only do you go into an in-depth, first of all, who here has been, I'm gonna send somebody come up and mute, raise your virtual hand real quick. I know I said 5 minutes and I'm going on 10, so y'all gonna have to shut me down. But let me know in the chat, raise your virtual hand actually, who's been on our 5-day challenges and got game, got value? Who's been on our 5-day challenges, got game, got value? Raise your real virtual hand. I mean, y'all got me started ready to go crazy. Not real virtual here. Just raise your virtual hand. I told y'all, if I didn't eat, I get crazy. You understand? Get angry out here. All right, raise your virtual hand. And I want you to talk about the game you've gotten just from the 5-day. This is free if you're inside the community at 47. And the price for VIP is $297. So you pay 47, get a $297 product. Come on, man. You already got your money back. But Sherelle, let's go, Sherelle. And you came out to our Love Plus live too. You seen us in person. So if you have been to our live events and you understand this is real, we're not here to take your money. It's not about that. This is really about cultivating an environment for us as a community to get to that next level. But let me unmute you and you tell us, you know, the 5-day challenge. What have your experience been like in the 5-day challenge? Put the link in the chat again. Put the link in the chat and again. Put the link in the chat again. $47, y'all, to take advantage of this. And I didn't even go through and show y'all all of what you get. I didn't even go through. So I want somebody who's also inside the community to come up too after that. But Sherelle, what's up, Queen?
Thank you. Just being around them is like they show you love. Like you feel love, you feel honored, you feel respected. And like in the 5-day challenge that I attended, let's see, I learned a lot. I learned a lot about credit. Like you got bad credit, how you can use it, like use loans to get you some money. But I wasn't able to do. I tried what they asked me to do, but I wasn't able to do that. So with me, I just do the best that I can. I took the challenge, I enjoyed the challenge, and they are really great people, and they can teach you a lot about what you want to know. Personal credit, business credit, and honestly, like I'm at a place where I feel like I know where I want to be, but I'm gonna continue just being around these high level minded people so that I can gain knowledge, even if I'm just sitting here listening and showing them my appreciation and my respect by paying attention. At least I'm in the room and I'm Sherelle and they gonna know who I am.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Everybody send some love in the chat. Everybody send some love in the chat. I want everybody to think about this. How explicit can I be with you? Y'all know I'm gonna ask that question. I do it. How explicit can I be with you? I want you to. Did you answer it? Hold up, you gotta answer that. Yes. How explicit can I be? We're gonna close up shortly. I just want to, add some value here. Sheree, I'm talking to you. How explicit can I be with you?
Go ahead.
No, you gotta answer. You can't say go ahead. That ain't an answer.
You can go ahead and do you too. You're gonna do you anyway, right?
No, I'm not. If you say no, I can't be explicit. I ain't doing nothing. So tell me, how explicit can I be with you? Can I actually be so honest and vulnerable with you and share something to you that can help you?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay. So hold up. Somebody's asking me about the next tier. You got to go through the program for that, but send me a message and I'll give you the information. I don't know who that is, iPhone. I don't know who you are, so I don't know how to connect with you. But send me a message. So Sherelle, for you, I don't want you to be comfortable with being where you are, because that's what it sounded like. It sounded like, yeah, I'm right here right now. I'm gonna be around the high level people, but I want you to know that you're literally just one move away. There's something that may be holding you back in a way that you probably feel, but might feel some fairness. You might feel like a little fear to it, a little some scaredness to it. I want you to remove that, because the thing that's causing you to have resistance is what's holding you back. Are you inside the Mogul Elite Club?
Not yet. I would.
Wait a minute. Have you already this month spent $47 somewhere else?
Yes.
Okay. This is not a knock on you. I love you. We did the mirror work. I had you come up and do the mirror work. Come on, like we come on. We look, we locked in. But what I want you to understand is your priorities. If you want your life to get better, you must do things that will automatically move the needle in your life. When it comes to money, everybody write this down. This is very important when it comes to money. This is the easiest thing for you to learn, so that way you can take advantage of this. If you purchase something that somebody else wants, you would always have money. Always. You would never not have money. I'm sorry. You would never not. So the issue is we're placing money in places where it's stopping us from getting the money back. The money is supposed to be in motion at all times and keep it current. This is why they call it currency, because you have to keep it current. If your money is stuck in places like the bank and is staying in stagnant, you're losing money every day. So the idea is, what matters to you the most? Your freedom, your happiness? And if that's the case, why not put a down payment on your future possibilities? Why not put a down payment on the money that you're going to receive in the future? $47 is not a lot. I can't count your pockets, though. Please forgive me, y'all, if I'm sounding weird or if I'm sounding like I done forgot about the struggle. Please. What I'm saying to you is this: did you spend $47 elsewhere? And if the answer is yes, you can spend $47 for at least 1 month of your life to get to another level, so that way you can never have to be the person that says, I don't have $47 to invest into myself. Can I be honest and real? That's why I ask, can I be explicit? Because what I say might hurt. What I say might could come across like, insensitive. What I say could be something detrimental to somebody, could discourage them, but I'm not here to do that.
I'm gonna spend the $47. I'm gonna make the investment into my future, and I'm gonna go forward with my life.
First of all, look how you're smiling about it, because you already know the value. If you got all of what you got for free, imagine what you get when you pay. Because when you pay attention. I give you a free t-shirt, you sleeping in it. You got the kids, you putting on the kids, and they went home with it because the kids had guests over, and sent the kids home in a new shirt. Okay, like, let's not be. I know what's going on here, y'all. All right, I'm joking with you on that, but I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you for that. I'm proud of you for that. So get the link and make the investment into yourself. Get the link and make the investment. Don't play games. Even if you only got 100, why wouldn't you do that? Because all the information is going to show you how to get 100 more. It's no brainer. But you got to make your choices. I'm proud of you though, Queen. I'm proud of you. Everybody send some love in the chat. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Is that retreat thingy? Is that in that 5-day thing that y'all was talking about in that mastermind last in December?
The retreat? Nah, the retreat is not going to be. No, retreat is not in there. You'll get information about the retreat. I think the first retreat is in May. If y'all interested in going on the Love Plus retreat, let me know in the chat, where we do mindful meditation, sound bowl healing. We got the good food, we got the good sun. We get to do the stretching and have all of these beautiful things, the working out in person. If y'all down for that, y'all want to go touch the blue waters, y'all want to go and feel good in the sun, let me know in the chat, because we are doing the Love Plus retreats. We are doing that, so that's something for sure. I'll send out the information. Y'all all got the email. Let me put this in the chat too, just in case. If you don't have access to this, if I don't have your email, you probably won't get this. So let me put this in the chat. Real quick, y'all. I'm gonna go to the other hands. I know I said 5 minutes and I went over my time. That was just y'all let me know. If I should just end it right now, let me know. Let me know, because I really want to stay consistent on that stuff. So let me know in the chat. Let me put this in the chat really quick though also. This is so I can have your email. If I do not have your email, I will not be able to send this out to you. So this is the Mindset Resets, which is what you're on now, the Mindset Reset. But if you get access to this, I will have your email, and I'll be able to send you notifications like when we do the retreats, when we have digital resources that you can take advantage of. All right. You don't have to put your email in here at all, but this is how you get the link to today's class, so you can get it on every Saturday. So Mindset Reset. So it's loveplus.com/mindset reset. That's how you'll get that. All right. Let me know if the link doesn't work, y'all, so I can provide y'all with additional support. All right, cool. Thank you once again, Goddess. Everybody send some love in the chat. We got Mavis. What's up, Mavis? It's in the request for Mavis.
Grand Rising.
What's up?
So I have done I think the last 5-day challenge that you guys had. And I will say it's a lot of information. Like if you may feel like you're in a well, I'll speak for myself. I felt like I was ready for a certain thing and I was in a certain place, and this class and this experience has like thrown all of that out the window. I really see how much work I really have to do. And what I appreciate is that it is not unreachable. It's just that you really see, like, you just have to organize, and that takes time. You know, you have to give yourself grace and be patient with yourself, but it's not a spot where you're just going to sit comfortably if you're really going through it, because I've cried on the calls. I've been like called out. Like I really saw like I was not where I thought I was. And it's okay because I'm doing the work and I'm getting there, you know, and it's different for every person. So I feel like I feel seen in this community. You know, I feel like it's a place where I can shine my light, and that's okay. It's not too much, you know, for the people here. And it's always somewhere to go. It's like you're never at the top and you're done. I've made it. Like it just feels like it's always more. And that really is the reality of being a business owner or being an entrepreneur. There's always more, and you're not at the top. Just when you think you've got it, another realm opens up and you see you haven't even tapped that, you know. As a musician, that's how I feel about music. It's always another realm. Just when you think you've mastered it, it's like, nope, you didn't even know about this. So it is just an ongoing journey. So, you know, I am not a part of the $47 community, but I did feel convicted listening to you talk to Sharia, because it is true. I have spent $47 this month on other things, you know, and I considered some of them necessities, but some of them are just like, okay, I'm gonna just go ahead and get this. So, you know, the reality is it is humbling. That's this experience for me. Humbling. The entire experience has been very humbling, not humiliating, but humbling. So it's just it's if it, to me it feels like there's a place for everybody, even if you feel like you're at the top or you feel like you're at your lowest. Like there's always room, and they're going to take you and meet you from wherever you are, and you know, get you to where you need to be.
Absolutely. Everybody send some love in the chat. And we met Mavis in person too. So once again, this is not about a money grab. Why would we do that? I would say other people would, and I understand everybody's hungry for money, but that's not the way to really get money, y'all. The way to really get money is to serve spiritually and serve higher. When you serve at a higher spiritual level, you get blessed by God regardless. You can't be defeated. Just understand that. That's why we do this. That's why we say we work higher, becoming more effective in less time. With Mavis, she really pouring out her heart. She's really saying, hey, look, I cried on the calls. A lot of us done cried on these calls. I done cried on these calls, right? We done did a lot of work. We have to organize, and we have to realize this is going to take time. This is not a 3 to 5 day journey, y'all. This is 3 to 4 year window. This is the window that you have to be great is 3 to 4 years. So all of that taking a break and getting mentorship and forgetting about it and being inconsistent, you're wasting your time. You're doing so you're prolonging and making it 20-year journey versus a 2-year to 4-year journey, right? So let's make sure that we're more effective in less time. If you haven't taken advantage of the $47, it's a no-brainer. I'm not here to convince you on that. I'm not here for that. Everybody send some love in the chat for Mavis. Some love in the chat. Mavis, you're about to be blown away too, because now that you are getting bits and pieces of all of what we do, you're going to be like, where's the highest tier at? You're going to be screaming for the highest tier. Everybody send some love in the chat for Mavis. We appreciate you 100%. All right. If you're inside of the school community already, just raise your hand and tell us what you get inside the school community. See, some of you are inside the school community, but then you're not inside the other community because you're playing short, right? We want to make sure that we get the live classes too. Yes, we got live classes in the school community. We want to make sure that we get the course material. Yes, we got the course material, but we also want to make sure that as we grow, we realize that our expectations on ourselves are growing higher. We are premium. Somebody put premium in the chat. Y'all want more live events? I don't know who iPhone is. Please change your name so I can know who you are. Who's iPhone? That keeps messaging me. I need to know who you are. Okay. If y'all want an event, I'm gonna give this opportunity. If we don't have, I'm gonna be honest with y'all, my brother, you know, is doing something special with the family, and I want to be there with my brother. So if I don't get enough RSVPs, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. Y'all the first to hear this. Y'all the first to hear this. Let me put this in the chat really fast. This is in Atlanta. If I don't get at least 30 RSVP, I'm not telling you all to RSVP now. I'm saying real people who are really coming. I'm not telling y'all to do this so y'all can trick me up and I get there and I'm looking like Will Smith when everybody left the house. Okay. I'm not looking for that type of surprise. Okay. So don't go in here RSVPing and you know you're not showing up. I'm just letting y'all know because I'm putting it in the chat because people asking for more live events. If you want the live event, it's an all-day live event from 8 to 10. You got a nice chunk of break time from 1 p.m. to 6. That's a nice chunk. You can go to sleep, take a nap. You can go eat lunch. You can go have dinner. You can do a bunch of stuff during this 4-hour break. But this is a whole day experience. You won't want to miss any of it. I'll bring Mavis and Sharaya back up to talk about that if they can. But I know Sharaya had to leave at the night, so she didn't get to come to the night part. But Mavis was there the whole time. But that's it in the chat. Did everybody get it in the chat? Everybody see it? Can somebody copy and paste it for me again? Copy and paste it for me again multiple times so that way we could all see it. Put a thumbs up so I know that we see it. So, excuse me, this is an event that we have going on. Once again, if I don't get at least 30 RSVPs of people who are really coming, please do not RSVP and trick me, please. If I don't, it's not happening. I'll just wait to win out to March. It's just that people kept asking for this. They kept asking me. I said, I don't know about this. So I'm doing it from the base of the community, but it's not that serious. If y'all already got things going on, it's not that serious. I'll still do this at the 4th week of our accountability accelerator program that's getting ready to start February 12th. So we have accountability accelerator program that's starting February 12th. And at the end of those 4 weeks, we will do a live class like we did the last time, and you'll be able to meet up with us in person. Okay. So if you know that you got something that's going on with your boo and y'all got plans already, please just don't RSVP. But if you want to come and you really want to be there, then RSVP. All right, cool. I think I said enough on that. Lentina, let's bring up Lentina. Am I saying it wrong? Let me know. Okay, Lentina, let's have you unmute.
Okay. I apologize for my voice. I'm dealing with COVID. So anyway, I do want to say I don't even know how I ended up getting into a webinar for Mogul, but the information was so valuable. I felt like I had to actually take action and invest. It was a stretch for me, but I did it. And I have to piggyback on Mavis. The information is so overwhelming because it's so much of it, but all of it is good. One thing that I'll have to say is take the steps. Take the steps. Don't try to skip steps. That's how you get tripped up. Take the steps. The process works. I've been working on my credit. That was the first thing that Mogul said, your credit is your priority. And so I've been just keeping that as my focus. And, you know, I've taken some steps. My credit has gone up by 78 points. Real talk. And I was like, okay, did this really just happen? Oh my God. So it works. Take the steps, stay the course, you'll get where you're going. And thanks for all that you do, all the information that you guys share. You guys are coming from a great place, and I know you're going to reap a bountiful harvest.
Absolutely. Everybody send some love in the chat for Latina. And I thank you for showing up for you. I want to snap it up and clap it up for you for that. I know you're dealing with a lot. We're sending you a lot of love in the chat. Hopefully you heal fast. We want you to heal up quickly and be stronger than you were before. And I want us to use these situations as motivation because Tom is not on our side. Unfortunately, we have to get Tom to be an ally with us because most of the time Tom is an enemy. And I don't want Tom to be an enemy because while you're on this journey in life, Tom could truly be your best friend. It could truly be. Like sometimes I feel selfish when I'm on vacation because it's not really a vacation. I still work. When y'all see me like this, when I'm not in my actual studio, but I'm on the road, like I feel like I want other people to be able to do that too. When I travel to Brazil, and then the next week I'm going over here to San Salvador, like, and then I'm going over here to Madrid, and I'm just able to do all of this, I'm blessed. And I'm blessed to do it because I created it in my mind and I worked higher and I followed what God told me to follow. The commandments. Live abundantly already. Somebody put I'm abundant in the chat. You are already abundant. But if you're playing small and you're playing scared, you're never going to get to live the way you want to live in the first place. So what's the point? You might as well live abundantly. You are abundant. You are a god. You are a goddess. Whatever it is, you're a child of God. Believe that you have some power and have some stake in this game. Believe that you can create the reality that you choose to. See, poor is a mindset. When they talk about passing over opportunities repeatedly, poor is just a mindset. So whatever you set your mind to, that's where you will go. That's where you will start to mine, right? When they're mining for gold, wherever you set your mind to, that's where you're mining. If you're mining for problems, you'll find problems. I know what I'm talking about. You're looking in your significant other's phone for some issues, and you're going to find something. But if you are looking to create a situation for love and peace and prosperity, you're going to find that too. And you all pray for this. You all pray for a community this of love and connectivity and financial prosperity. And when we deliver it to you, you're like, $47. I'm done. I'm done today. I'm off the call. That's it for me. I'm just gonna leave it at that. Like, if you complain about $47, damn, like I can't help you. I'm sorry, I can't help you. Forgive me. Forgive me, Jesus. I'm joking, y'all. I'm joking. But that's it for today's class. Hopefully today was amazing. If you, once again, if you do not follow me, Mindset Mogul Crew. You can look at my name right here. You can see me on Instagram, see me on TikTok, and then we're going to be on YouTube as well. Once again, this is all about taking your mindset, helping you turn it into a tool set so that way you can get these cash flowing assets, because assets produce freedom and flexibility, and that is what we're going for. We're going for time and freedom. That is what we're out to accomplish. Your time and freedom may be slightly different from the other person, but these principles will help you get to where you want to be faster than you ever thought before. So once again, the primary focus is to become more effective in less time. Primary pathway is through strategic partnerships, whether that's people or places or things, systems. That's what's going to help you get there. And by getting there, you get the result, the primary result of multiple streams of impact that lead to multiple streams of income. And you start to live that happy life of abundance. That's it for me today. I'll send y'all love once again. Snap it up and clap it up for you. Next week, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, 9:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And if you're somebody, whoever's iPhone, if y'all wanted more information, please send me a message. That way we can get you to the right place. All right, y'all. Y'all go and be prosperous today. I'll see y'all soon. Peace, love, and beautiful energy. You did that.